This episode is brought to you by Prime. What if you had one more chance with the one that got away?
Sam.
You came home.
Based on the best-selling novel from Carly Fortune. Every Year After follows childhood friends Sam and Percy as they reunite in the dreamy, nostalgic lakeside town of Barry's Bay.
Love can be hard to find. So if you're lucky enough to find that person, never let go.
A second chance at first love. Every Year After, now streaming only on Prime.
Study and play come together on a Windows 11 PC. And for a limited time, college students get the best of both worlds. Get the Unreal College Deal. Everything you need to study and play with select Windows 11 PCs. Eligible students get a year of Microsoft 365 Premium and a year of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate with a custom color Xbox wireless controller. Learn more at windows.com/student offer. While supplies last. Ends June 30th. Terms at aka.ms/collegepc.
Marvel Television's Wonder Man, an 8-episode series, now streaming on Disney+.
A superhero remake, not exactly what we'd expect from an Oscar-winning director.
Action! Simon Williams, audition for Wonder Man.
I'm gonna need you to sign this, assuming you don't have superpowers.
I'll never work again if anyone found out.
My lips are sealed.
Marvel Television's Wonder Man. All 8 episodes now streaming, only on Disney+.
Hi, this is Mikey Kopte of Desert of Talking Shadows. I'm here with Jay Scott of The Hook Rocks, and we cannot wait for you to hear this awesome episode. And please check out our record, Misato. And thank you to The Hook Rocks for promoting all of us young rock bands. See you soon.
Hey everyone, welcome back to The Hook Rocks. It's your host, Jay Scott. Thanks again for tuning in. We are part of the Pantheon Podcast Network, a great network of music-related podcasts. Check us out on pantheonpodcast.com and also follow them on social media on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Pantheon Pods. You can catch some of my friends on the platform like Mac from the Ugly American Werewolf in London podcast, Martin Popoff, the rock historian, Mistress Carrie, the legendary DJ, Tom and Zeus on Shout Out Loudcast, Chris and Aaron on Decibel Geek, as well as many others. So check out them when you get a chance. Also recently appeared on the All Things Blues and Southern Rock podcast with Brian and Jason. So please give them a listen. It's a great episode. I think couple episodes have been released since then, but please check it out when you do get a chance. We are on all streaming platforms, all podcast platforms, so check us out wherever you can and write us a review if you so choose. We're on Amazon, Apple, Spotify, and so many others. I think we're on every platform, actually. So wherever you podcast, check us out. Set your app to automatic download so you get the latest episode right to your phone, wherever you're at, and you get to enjoy the previous 400 plus episodes we've done, ranging from legacy interviews to music commentary. And of course, the main motivation for this podcast are new music spotlights featuring new emerging bands that are rising up the ranks in the new age of modern rock. We've had some great episodes recently. like our interview with Chuck Smith, as well as Tyler Bryant, some great new music spotlights with Bourbon House and Desert of Talking Shadows, as well as Ignescent. And we also featured a live album review with UFO Strangers in the Night, and we welcome back our audio expert, Skylab Rob at Skylab Tapes on Twitter, talking building a home recording studio in the age of technology in 2022, what you need to look for, and how you need to build it. It is a must listen for new artists, emerging artists that are looking for a little bit of flexibility in their recording, looking to save some money instead of renting out studio time. So please check out that as well. And of course, we recently did our Eddie Van Halen tribute memorial episode, as we did last year with Greg Renoff. We welcomed rock journalist Matt Wake last week to talk the legacy and memory of Eddie Van Halen. Really interesting conversation, and I always like to have a conversation that is organic and authentic. You never know where these things are going to go, and Matt was wonderful, as he always is, when we talk new rock in the past, but hearing his thoughts on Eddie Van Halen was just a big treat, because we're both rock fans, we're both Van Halen fans, and as we get farther away from his passing in 2020, we want to keep his memory alive, we want to keep his legacy alive, and we want to talk to Van Halen fans throughout the future with other episodes regarding Eddie. But it was important for Matt to be on, and I'm glad that he was. Our episode today takes on and features the new Alter Bridge album, Pawns and Kings. As you know, the two faces of Alter Bridge are Miles Kennedy, who has a wonderful solo career, as well as the singer for Slash and the Conspirators, and Mark Tremonti, the great modern guitar player that was in Creed, and of course has his solo band Tremonti. He recently did a special project, Mark Tremonti Sings Sinatra, which we had the pleasure of interviewing him, as well as Miles Kennedy for his solo release last year. So please check out all those interviews, or both those interviews, and check out the material that they have outside of Alter Bridge. But today's focus is going to be on the new album that's going to be out this coming Friday, October 14th. It is a epic album. It really is. When you're talking about Mark Tremonti and Miles Kennedy, you are talking about two of the greats in modern rock right now, whether it's Tremonti's guitar playing or Miles Kennedy's singing. They are wonderful when they are doing their side projects, right, that we just mentioned. But when they come together with Alter Bridge and they create and they write and they put out wonderful music, it really is something special. Two very talented individuals, like I said, are the faces of the band. And let's not forget Brian Marshall and Scott Phillips, Brian Marshall on bass and Scott Phillips on drums, will round out this incredible band, a group of incredible musicians, talented musicians. And as they throw down on their 7th album, what I like about Alter Bridge is you never know what's coming, right? You never really know what to expect. And in a day where everybody wants to know what's going to happen and everybody wants to feed into that and hear things, quickly, everything's in the now. When you have a band like Alter Bridge that gets you to anticipate their music, because that's a very hard thing to do in today's rock scene, or a music scene, I should say. It's really hard to get fans, an audience, to anticipate music. We all want the music, right? We all want to hear it. And I guess in some ways that is a level of anticipation, but we just don't know what it's going to sound like. And that really makes this band stand out, makes this band special. It's one of the very few acts that from one album to the next, you really don't know what they are going to give you. And they give you something special here today with their new album on Napalm Records. Like I said, Pawns and Kings. Again, this is a very special album, and let's get into it. The album starts with the song This Is War, which is a battle. It sets the tone for not just the album, but what the song is. When you read some of the lyrics and you really connect with what's happening in reality, because both Mark and Miles really write about what they observe and what they see, and that carries into their side projects too as well. But with this song, it's very important in that it touches on the subject of how the battle of information and the battle of what is happening is being pulled in two different directions, right? Depending on what you listen to or where you go for your news and how you obtain your knowledge on subjects, it could be vastly different from the person that lives next to you to the person that sits next to you at work, depending on what they're reading or what they're listening to. And it's really different from person to person. There's a lot of similarities, of course. There's groups of people that, obtain information the same or similar way. But because we're so divided, we're really divided because of information and how we get it and what narrative is being driven. And I love the way this subject is tackled in this song, because it really speaks to that. It speaks to this is war. They whether it's the media, whether it's a political party, whatever it is, it's really declared war on us as a society and how they train our minds and how they train our thoughts and how they get us to think certain ways. So it's a very interesting subject. The album, the song really does set the tone for the album. And as always, important lyrics, important topics with both Mark and Miles in their writing styles, and really enjoyed diving into this first song for this album. The next song, Dead Among the Living, kind of continues that thought process, but it kind of evolves in a different way in where we were at over the last couple of years, is that we kind of stopped living and we kind of had to deal with a reality that was very uncomfortable, and we really weren't allowed to live our lives, or we weren't able to live our lives in the way that we knew how to live. A very important subject too as well. Again, the writing is masterful on this album. It really gets you to think. It kind of gives you a different perspective. And my interpretation of the song is exactly what I just said, like dead among the living, that we were unable to do the things that we want. Now we're coming out of that period of time and we are starting to interact more and we're starting to live, but going through what we've all went through, the way Alter Bridge gives its perspective, again, thought-provoking, makes you think, just enjoy it. And again, starts with that tone setter, This Is War, into Dead Among the Living. Silver Tongue, about an individual that's able to seduce people with their words, with just their personality. Again, very timely in what we see and what we observe with either a politician or, now in these influencers that we have in social media or whatever entertainment or entertainer that we see. the ability to people, or for people to just listen to words and be seduced by words and be overcome with a sense of one-sided loyalty to these people is a very important topic in this day and age, because I think it's part of the core of what is at issue with society. And love how Alter Bridge really takes this subject on, because it's really important. Sin After Sin, a very powerful song. More of a kind of a storyboard type song as it evolves from the first note to the last. Interesting track too as well. Leads into the song Stay, which I found very enlightening, very inspirational. Really about healing through adversity and through issues and through problems. We all deal with different types of adversity, and we all have things that we deal with that we try to overcome. And when you overcome them, you deal with these scars, so to speak, whether it's in your mind or in your heart, and the importance of healing through that adversity and getting through it and becoming better and allowing yourself to be fixed and having support during those times. We've all dealt with issues, and especially over the last few years, where we're dealing with we're being pulled in different direction. And again, Alter Bridge really covers this topic in an important way. Mark Tremonti's on vocals on this, so it definitely has a little bit of a different tone than the other songs, but nonetheless, one of my favorite tracks on the album. Really just love the subject matter and the tone of the song. Hope you enjoy it as much as I did. Next song is Holiday. Very interesting, cool riff in the beginning. Little, again, going from the inspirational enlightenment song of Stay into Holiday. Again, this album is pushing you in different directions, just as they write about in terms of what the reality is, being pulled in different directions with very timely topics that are happening in society, which I enjoy that stuff. I really kind of gravitate towards that type of song where it's making you think, it's kind of giving you a perspective. It doesn't necessarily, want you to follow what their perspective is. You should never do that, but it gives you another avenue of thought that maybe you haven't discussed with yourself or with friends and family. And it's just another way to open up your mind. The song takes you on another one of those journeys, another enjoyable journey. And especially the difference between the previous song with Stay into this one. So I think you'll enjoy it as much as I did too as well. Then the epic fable of the Silent Sun, which is over 8 minutes long, a song that kind of defines that music journey that I talk about often in my show. And when I do talk about songs that I find interesting, this one, I think you will too. It's the epic, grandiose song on the album, as I like to say, and really kind of fits nicely towards the back end of the album. So check that out. The album finishes up with Season of Promise, Last Man Standing, and the title track Pawns and Kings, which really solidifies this album as one of the great listens in 2022. There's been a lot of great music released over the last couple of years. Miles and Mark have been a part of their own projects and albums that they've done. This album really shows you why they are great on their own, doing their own things, but they're great and so much more powerful together in this band, Alter Bridge, and with this album, Pawns and Kings. Again, if I'm rating this out of 10, 10 being the greatest, I'm at probably like a 9.5, 9 to a 9.5. It's a great album, and I can't wait to see them tour in 2023 with Mammoth. They'll be coming here in Chicago to the Riviera Theater. But really, if you're looking for music that will give you a different perspective, that will make you think of things that maybe you haven't thought of with a lyrical sense or with the lyrics that they wrote, this album is really for you. And if you're looking for something a little deeper as well, Miles and Mark write incredible music. And when you look at their lyrics, and I think I did an album review for both Miles Kennedy solo album in 2021 and Tremonti too as well, they both write about timely topics that are impacting all of us with a unique perspective. And it's not, in my opinion, trying to sway you towards one side or the other, because we are in a world right now where it really is all about whether you're on this side or that side. It just gives you a perspective, and it gives you a peek into their mind of what they're seeing and what they're feeling. And they're not asking you to agree with them. They're not asking you to follow them with their thoughts and what their point of view is. They're just giving you a perspective. Alter Bridge, Pawns and Kings album review. Again, album is out October 14th. This coming Friday on Napalm Records. Tour should be beginning after the first of the year in the wintertime. I always like to cozy up with each other at a concert and enjoy some rock and roll. So be on the lookout for their tour dates. I believe that they've been announced already on their website. Check out this album. I think it's an important listen. I think it's an important record. And if you're looking for a different perspective than what you're hearing from the narrative that keeps being driven, you will enjoy this. I'm Jay. This has been another Hook Rocks album review. Take care of each other. We'll talk soon. Thanks.
There is no time to waste. The wretched and the heartless take your future if you let there will be time to show the devil what we are. Surrender nevermore, though deep inside we're battle worn. We'll never let them tear this land apart. No, for all of the hope that it brings, and the weapons we could be kings if we believe against our odds we will survive. Release the hounds of doom, unsheath the blade, we cannot lose. We're fighting for the only thing we know.
Hey, sweetie, your mother showed me this Carvana thing for selling the car. I'm going to give it a try. Wish me luck. Me again. I put in the license plate. It gave me an offer. Unbelievable. Okay, I accepted the offer. They're picking it up Tuesday from the driveway. I haven't even left my chair. It's done. The car is gone. I'm holding a check. Anyway, Carvana, give it a whirl. Love ya.
So good, you'll want to leave a voicemail about it. Sell your car today on Carvana. Pickup fees may apply.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. I don't know if you knew this, but anyone can get the same premium wireless for $15 a month plan that I've been enjoying. It's not just for celebrities. So do like I did and have one of your assistants switch you to Mint Mobile today. I'm told it's super easy to do at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.